Maybe having a little raccoon party under this little set of bushes. Although I'll tell you, a raccoon party wouldn't be that fun. I do love animals. I've had many, many pets in my life. I mean, growing up in Florida, we didn't have any money. And we lived so far away from civilization that I didn't have a whole lot of human friends. But I was surrounded by beautiful Florida Everglades and some of the most fantastic critters you can imagine. And I just love them all. They're all my friends. Yeah. No, I'll show you. Yeah, okay then. Fine, Jerry. Jeez. Let's take a little break here. I'll show you some of these critters. Maybe we can get Peapod on the camera. He's a nice. Annette, you got Peapod? Where is it? There. Okay. See, here we go. See this little guy? Like, easy. Okay. Yeah, Jerry, you're freaking him out. Must be something right, man. Okay. Settle down. There. Peapod I got when he was just a little baby. His mama must have pushed him out of the nest or something. And I bottle fed him. He lived in my pocket for a while, but as I was saying earlier, it's very important that you don't try to keep these creatures. You know, wild animals need to remain wild. At a certain point, they just become kind of mean. Especially these raccoons. Those raccoons become quite mean, and that's when it's time to release them back into the wild. So, if you want to adopt a real pet, you should just go down to the local humane society or something. I'm sure you can find something. Oh, what's Annette! How did he get out? Oh, Jerry, really, huh? Get him, I got it. All right, close it, there. Yeah. Boy, I should not have brought him along. So that's what I'm talking about. At a certain point, they get a little too wild. That means they're ready for life in the wild. You're okay? Oh boy, his little heart's racing now. There. Okay, he's not around. And we're back. I told you, Jerry, you want to wrestle that thing? I don't think so. Shoot, all right, let's roll. Welcome back. You didn't miss anything. All I did was take a little break. I pushed in a couple little bushes here and there. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight those guys. Really bring them to life for you. Same technique as before, except even lighter. You don't want to push too hard here. Just load up the very tips of that brush, still with the green on it. Just touch in a couple highlights here and there. Try not to create some sort of a pattern. Instead, try to imagine the individual characteristics of each bush. Imagine that each one has its own little personality. Imagine that Peapod's living in one and Peapod's little friend is living in another. I did have one squirrel that I kept permanently, but she was epileptic. Really wasn't fit for the wild. Her name was Squirrely Girl. And she was, but she was wilder than she was. There we go. There. Now see, it's just a big old clump of happy bushes. Hundreds of little critters could call it a happy home, I'm sure. While we're at it, I have that yellow on our brush. You can go just try out some little highlights on these trees. See how that feels. Nothing too major. Don't do it all over the tree. That'll change it in ways that you won't like. Try to remember your light source. But, again, if you don't want to, if you want to have some psychedelic painting, you can have a psychedelic painting. Tell you what, let's move over to this side. We've been ignoring it for a little too long. It's starting to get lonely. I believe it needs a little friendship. Yeah, I'm just taking off a little excess paint. Don't worry too much about it. And let's grab one of these big old dirty brushes. We're going to lay in another big tree, different kind of tree. Shoot, why not? Let's have a couple different varieties of trees. They're all beautiful to me. They're all I found that the more I've studied painting, and the better I became at this technique, the better my appreciation of nature in general became. I could go outside and on a more fundamental level understand the beauty of the mountains and the sky and the chorus they create when they're all doing the perfect thing. They're doing their visual dance. It's just effortless for them. For us, it's so hard sometimes, so much pressure. Be this and be that. Do the right thing. But not here, no pressure in this. This is your world. This is my painting. I can do whatever I want in here. But I'll tell you one thing, there is no violence and there's no hatred. If you were looking for those, you change the channel up or down, one click ought to do it. You ought to find the news or something like that. That'll bum me right out. Yeah, I know. Anyways, let's maybe we'll strike that whole part. We don't want to be getting morose here. We're having a good time. Some things are serious and you got to address them from time to time, but not here. All right. Now you can see I'm just laying in some happy little leaves on this tree. Maybe it's still springtime. That snow's going to be melting off, filling that lake back up. All those happy little fish. Maybe some happy little raccoons ready there sitting at the riverbank. Oh, we better make a bank while we're at it. Yep, you're right. Shoot, we can do that. We can do that. It's never too late to go back. Can always work with whatever happens. We don't make any mistakes here, only happy accidents. There. No one fill it in too much. It'll just look like a giant bush, I guess. But it sort of is a giant bush. Yeah, shoot, let's make a giant bush. Why not? There we go. Sure. Let's say that bush has a little wild side. Why not? I'm gonna grab that fiery orange. So this one disagrees. This one says that it's nearing fall. That one's pretty sure it's spring still. It's good to have a little conversation back and forth in your head. It's the little things like that that'll really give you that happy buck if you decide to try to sell these paintings. You don't have to. If you don't want to, don't, but I sure do. Yep, and it's those little details that'll really get that happy buck for you. Now, let's see. We better add in that bank before those critters drown. Can hear them. Mom! No, Ned, I haven't been into any of that. Don't you worry. Jerry, you should be talking to about that. I think somebody's messed up in this room. It's probably... There. Now, see, we just dropped in a happy little sandbank. What kind of critters could be existing there? I don't know. People say, Bob, why don't you ever paint some critters into those paintings you're always talking about? Well, that's just not what I do. I'm going to come across here and create a little bit of a water line way off in the distance. I'm going to keep that one nice and straight. Otherwise, it'll look like that water's just about to pour right out of your painting, all over the floor. It would make Peapod sad. Do the same thing down here. It'll come out nice and straight, so you can have little ripples here. There. You can make little sound effects if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't. I don't need to tell you that. Shoot, you can talk all the way through your painting if you want to. But if you don't want to. What I've mixed up here is a little bit of that alizarin crimson, some brown, some white. We're going to add a little bit of the bone structure of these happy trees. They've just been sort of floating over here, wondering about their existence, but enjoying their lovely view and their party, their little company here. Yep, if I had that view, I'd invite all my friends over too. We'd just hang out by the lake all day long, looking at the critters and counting the clouds, I guess. Now, you don't want to fill up that whole thing with a big, long spike. Just little indications here and there will create the illusion of those trees off in the distance. We can do the same thing over here, but I'm going to take it a little bit higher. I'm going to grab some of that white, that weird green from earlier. Whatever you've got on your palette that's nice and light, that'll do. Just grab a little bit on the end. These ones are going to be a little thinner. Little sticks in there. And there we go. Sure. Here. There we go. Sure, you could spend all day just cutting little tiny sticks in there. If you want to, you can. You don't have to go as fast as I go. Like I said, I got 7 more tapes to do today, so I gotta get this going. You can feel free to pause the VHS at any time. Hit rewind if you want to go back. Shoot, if you want to go into the future, you could hit fast forward. You could beat me to it. All right, yeah, I did eat just a little bit. It's okay, man. We'll get through it. Don't worry. How long have we been doing this? That's right. You don't need to worry about me. Now, let's bring that down. We need to build it. We need to build a place or some more happy little bushes. Maybe not a tree. So I'm grabbing that nice dark color. Sort of like the mountain. Painting this base coat. I mean, shoot, it is just a little mountain. Just a baby. Someday, you'll be that part of a big, big mountain. Right now, it's just a little baby mountain. And that's cute. Get that filled in nice and dark there. Tell you what, get your big old 2-inch brush, thin it down just a little bit. Let's get in here, get a lot of paint. Boy, we really gotta load it up. I'll show you something you can do with this big old brush. Some people say, Bob, I wouldn't paint a picket fence with a brush that big. So you'd be amazed what you can accomplish. See that there? You got a razor blade sharpness on there. Yes, it's a lot of paint, but pay off. I'll tell you why. Yeah. See, that one will just plow through for you and create a nice base. Yeah, well, it did come out pretty crooked, I know. Dude, you don't know what happened to that tree in its life. Maybe it had a hard life when it was just a little baby. Some big old elk came along and sat on it. Messed it up, but it's still okay. It's still trying to be heavy. Let's grab I'm going to thin that down, use another fan brush. I got a bunch of brushes going down here, but if you need to stop and clean them, feel free to do that. Just want to use dirty brushes, that's fine too. Just ever so slight. Come in here. Start it. I'm just going to push that thing in. If you grab a bunch of that white, that's okay. Okay. In another episode, I'll tell you all about how to work with those happy little accidents. Turn them into something that, or actually, let's just do it right now. Take that knife, scrape it out. Nothing to it. Don't cry. Don't give up. Don't quit. Throw it across the room, have a big fit. Don't need it. That's not going to accomplish anything. You don't need to just honk at somebody for no reason. You don't know what their day is like. You don't know what they've been going through. It drives me crazy. Love driving my Corvette, hate driving with human beings on this planet. Just a real test of my happiness sometimes. That's okay, sometimes we need a good test. Now I'm getting darker and darker in this base of this tree. He's a little darker than these ones. That's because it's closer. And then grab that knife again. Our old trusty tree trunk color. Let's add a little more brown. That's good. You can leave it marbled, that's great. Feels good when it goes on like that. At the base of that tree. Now you get the lighter color. Just here and there. Touch it, touch it. Pull it across. That's nice. And go up here just as before. That's just the indication. This is a nice thick tree, so you can go easy on its backbone. It's a close one, Jerry. You see that? Yeah, leave it in. That's good. Okay, yeah, I'm liking the way this is coming along. Tell you what, I think we need a little more of that wild fire. Let's grab a 1-inch brush that's nice and clean. Gonna just create a fireball color. You see that one? It's good. It's good. It's gonna put a big old fiery bush right there. Sure. Shoot, maybe there's a whole different type of brush over on this side. A whole different community on this side of the lake. Nobody can agree on what season it is either, I suppose. I used to get a lot of that flack. People say, oh, wow, that's not realistic, this and that. Nothing ever looks that good. I never understood that pessimism in a painting. Why would you want to paint something that you didn't like? When this is your world, you can literally create whatever you want. Sometimes people just want that, I guess. You want a painting full of hate? I don't think painting is for you. This method difficult. There we go. Just gonna add a little yellow in there. Here and there. There we go. Ah, shoot, let's have another brush time. Now we're talking. One more thing I see popping out, just begging for me. Include it. It says, Bob, please, I need this. Been a lonely little path all my life, hanging out by this lake in the shadow of a tree. You could add some light to me, I would really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and do that for him. He has a happy path, he's my friend. I've known him for a couple seconds now, but I can tell we're going to get along just fine. Just blowing clouds, making little indications of stones and dirt and such. And while we've got our knife, let's get a little darker color. Come back over under this brush. And a little variety to our sand. Same technique as before, Jerry. See, I'll pull it out, cut it across. Just come down the bank. Just come down the bank. That'll start to do it for you. Yeah, Ned, I think we're going to call this one done. We can go get some lunch. We don't want to have pizza. I'm down for pizza. Who's buying? Thought I saw Jim Henson back there. That fool's made of money now. We ought to get him to buy his pizza. Add a little brown for those trees to stand on. Now they're a little happier. They were still a little scared, floating around. Now they know what to do. Now they know where to live. And the final thought. Oh, what's that? Yeah, we should. Okay. We'll see. Annette, Come on, since this is the last season, let's come out. Let's bring Annette out. Is she back there? Yeah, come on. Well, she doesn't like being on camera too much, Jerry, so go ahead. We don't need to record this. Let's see, when did we meet? That was that first year. You were having a bad time. Yeah, she had lost her son. She was in a bad way, boy. She came looking out for a Bill Alexander class. That's all she wanted to do. She thought it would make her happy. Probably would have, but at that point, Bill had already moved on, and I was teaching the classes, so she said, well, who's this weird-haired guy? It's kind of funny looking dude. But after taking the class, we've been together ever since. Not like that. Again, it's not how it seemed. Sure, my wife stayed back in Florida with her husband. They were taking care of the business, just like we were taking care of business, weren't we, didn't it? Couple hippies traveling around in a Winnebago. Nothing funny about that. I'm just going to go down here with my script liner. You see, I've already thinned that down just about as thin as ink. It's about to run right off that palette. Before it does that, grab a little bit. Go ahead and sign it on the front. If you don't want to, you can sign it on the back or the side. Or not at all. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy. I certainly hope this painting made you happy today. I know it made me quite happy. In no time whatsoever, we've got ourselves a nice mountain scene, a couple of happy trees, beautiful, happy clouds floating around above, having fun, reminding us of how beautiful this creation can be. But, from all of us here in Muncie, Indiana, happy painting, my friends, and God bless.